Hey there, it's Jenny and welcome to another video. So in today's video, we are going to be tackling the topic of tables. So we're going to be looking at what table might be best suited to you in your salon. We'll also be giving you a few top tips for how to set up that table whenever you do buy it. And finally, we're going to be rounding this off with how to clean your table properly, because as we all know, the better you look after your equipment, the longer life it has. But first, before we jump into the video, I want to know, what tables do you like best in your salon and why? Leave this in the comments section below. But let's jump into the video. Part 1, picking the best table for you. So when it comes to tables, there are 3 types of table. You have electric, you have hydraulic, and you have static tables. Now the electric table is able to be plugged into the wall and it can be raised and lowered to any height using an electric foot pedal at the bottom of the table. Then with your hydraulic tables, it can also be raised and lowered to a specific height. However, it's done with a foot pump instead of that electrical pedal. Then with the static table, it's kind of what the name suggests. So you can't raise or lower it to a specific height, it's fixed in that one height position. So when it comes to salon grooming, we would usually recommend using an electric or hydraulic table. And the reason for this is due to their size and weight. There's a lot more weight behind them, they're really big and they're going to be perfect in that salon and not move whenever you're grooming the dog. Now they also are extremely durable, so they are going to last you a good few years in your salon. And on top of that, whenever you can adjust the height to your liking, your back is going to be so much more thankful for that. Then when it comes to static tables, these are great for mobility. So if you're a mobile groomer, if you're a groomer on the go, maybe going to competitions, then these are perfect for you. Just because they're really lightweight, they're really easy to pack up and travel with. The only downside is they aren't as durable. Part 2, tips for setting up your table. Now when it comes to setting up your table, it really does depend on the make and the model of the table, as they will vary on different degrees of what you need to do. But today we're just going to share with you a few little tips that'll make that just a little bit easier. So the first thing is that you will need 2 people for an electric or hydraulic table. This is just due to the sheer size and weight of them, so you will need 2 strong people just to help lift that table out and get it positioned where you want to in your salon. But one of the most common questions that we get asked is actually, how do you set up an etch bar? So whenever you get your etch bar out of the box, it will come in these parts. So you have 4 different bars, 2 of which are cornered and 2 of which are straight. Then you also have 2 larger screws to go on the side of the table and 3 smaller screws to help fit the etch bar. The first thing we're going to do is put the 2 straight bars in the 2 holes at the side of the table. Simply lower these to the ground and they don't need to be screwed in just yet. Then we're going to assemble the top of the etch bar. One of the etch bars will be hollow and the other one will be solid the whole way through. Slide these 2 poles together so that they are overlapping, but do not screw them yet. Take the 2 ends and place them over the straight poles so that you can get the perfect measurement of the etch bar. Then place a screw in the top of the etch bar to secure this length. Then on either side of the table, you'll want to adjust the top of the etch bar to the sides of the etch bar. Take one of the small screws and place them at either hole on either side to secure. Then to adjust the overall height of the etch bar, take the 2 larger screws that you've seen before and put them in on either side. Then lift or lower the bar as needed and screw in to secure. And voila, your etch bar is all set up and ready for you to use throughout the day and adjust. So another great addition to add to your etch bar is a product called fast links. Now fast links are a series of different chain lengths and you can attach the chain to the etch bar and then to the dog's noose. And essentially what they do is they eliminate you having to move the etch bar up and down whilst you groom. So for a larger dog, you would use a shorter chain, and for a smaller dog, you would use a longer chain. And as I said, these are great. They save you a lot of time in your salon, as rather than having to set and adjust the etch bar every single time, you can simply clip a chain on and clip it off to suit whatever dog you need. The last thing we're going to talk about is how to make sure your table isn't wobbly whenever you set it up. So if you have an uneven floor level in your salon, it can be a big pain because the table won't be standing straight and it'll become wobbly for the dog, which is really unsafe. So how you combat this is with these, the adjustable feet that comes along with the table. And if you take a look, you'll be able to see that the screw moves back and forth like so in whatever direction you want it to. So whenever you screw this into the bottom of the table, just make sure that you are adjusting the feet accordingly, because a lot of people leave these feet off. And all it will do is it will level out your floor and it will make sure that your table is nice and straight and nice and secure for the dog. Part 3, how to clean your table properly. So whenever it comes to cleaning your table, this is really important, as it's not only going to extend the life of your table, but it's also going to help stop any contamination between dogs, which is why we're splitting this into 2 parts. So the first part of cleaning is cleaning in between grooms. And as I said, this is essential as many of your dogs will not only leave hair on the table, but they may also leave some bacteria or viruses that you don't know about. So the first thing to do is to go along and remove the hair from the table. We would recommend doing this with a dustpan and a brush, mainly because you don't want to be wiping all of that hair onto the floor so that it can spread further. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take some disinfectant spray. So we would recommend Sephora or the Hyper Cleanse Surface Spray. Simply spray this over the table and leave it for a few minutes just to make sure that it works, and then wipe this down with a damp cloth. So part 2 of cleaning is the big clean at the end of the day. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the first steps again. So you're going to take that dustpan and shovel, brush the table down. Then you're going to use a surface spray, or you can use another disinfectant such as the Hyper Cleanse Pro dilutable solution, just in case you want something a little bit stronger. So the next step is one people forget about a lot, and that's actually to remove the tabletop and clean under there. And as you can see, there's some hair and debris that is filtered down through to the side of this table, so we want to make sure to remove it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a smaller brush such as the one I'm using here, or if you need something thinner, a brush that hairdressers use to put hair dye on works like an absolute dream. So clear the hairs out of here, and again spray and wipe down so that it's sitting squeaky clean. Then the last step is to replace the tabletop and make sure that the table is completely dry. Tables are made of metal, so there is the chance that it'll rust if there is a bit of water or dampness left behind. So you just want to make sure you give this table a real good dry down at the end of the day so that your table's left looking fresh and brand new. Thanks for tuning in to Tables 101. I hope you've learned a lot from this. If we have missed anything out, leave it in the comments below and we will reply to you as quick as we can. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!